Hello and good day to you, my great esteemed listeners and watchers of my channel. This is History and International World Affairs Explained. My name is Joe Agafi. Kindly watch, like, and subscribe, and also share. Um, in the recent past days, we've heard about how Hezbollah has been able to take out Israeli military tanks. Um, it is being said at the moment that almost 100 Merkava tanks has um, been destroyed by the Hezbollah. Hezbollah is a militant organization in Lebanon that is in cahoots with the Iranian. That's the Iranian IRGC. So it's more or less like Israel is fighting on two fronts, fighting Hezbollah and exchanging missiles with Iran. Now, let me educate you on this, as in to know how Hezbollah have been able to damage or sometimes knock out Israeli tanks. Now, number one is this: advanced anti-tank guided missiles, ATGMs. The biggest factor is weapon technology. As you know, Hezbollah fields modern missiles like the Russian Cornet, Metis M, and RPG-29. They use tandem warheads, that's two-stage explosives. The first charge defeats the reactive armor, then the second penetrates the main armor. In the 2006 war, 45% of Israeli tanks hit by such missiles were penetrated. Some newer systems are specifically designed to defeat, the Israeli defenses. Systems like Tarala fire 2 missiles. That's the Tarala fires 2 missiles in quick succession to overwhelm the protection systems. Secondly, beating active protection systems. Modern Merkava tanks use systems like Trophy, which intercept incoming rockets. Hezbollah now adapted by firing multiple missiles within fractions of a second. I hope you do understand that. They fire 2 missiles within fractions of a second, exploiting the system's reload delay 1/1/5 seconds. The result is that the first missile is intercepted while the second can slip through. Thirdly, they use ambush tactics, not head-on fights. Hezbollah doesn't fight tanks like a conventional army, and their typical approach is they hide in terrain, villages, hills, buildings. They wait for the tanks to pass. They hit from the side or the rear where the armor is weakest. They often attack columns from multiple angles, and they try to disable the first and the last vehicle to trap the rest. Terrain advantage of southern Lebanon. The environment matters a lot, in the sense that southern Lebanon is hilly, built up villages, and narrow roads. This limits tank mobility, creates perfect ambush zones. Even a top-tier tank is vulnerable when it can't maneuver freely. Mission kills versus total destruction. A key nuance is this: Hezbollah doesn't always need to destroy a tank. They aim to disable tracks, damage optics of weapons, force the crew to evacuate. This is called a mission kill, and it's often enough tactically. Sixth, they conduct massed attacks. Instead of one shot, Hezbollah may fire dozens of missiles at a unit, strip away defenses, then hit with a stronger weapon. Seventh is IEDs and mines. Not all losses comes from shooting missiles. No, some tanks have been hit by improvised explosive devices, IEDs or mines. This can damage the underside, which is harder to armor heavily. 8. Small specialized teams. Hezbollah uses trained tank hunter teams, 4 to 6 fighters, dedicated missile operators, plus support, highly trained in camouflage and timing. 4 to 6 fighters. It's a small unit that can, when things are planned effectively, they can take out more than 10 tanks, at a time. Now, the bottom line is this: Hezbollah succeeds not because Israeli tanks are weak, but because modern missiles can penetrate even advanced armor. Active defenses can be overwhelmed. Ambush tactics negate many advantages of tanks. So it's really the combination of technology, tactics, and terrain. Now, the Ukraine-Russian war has shown to us how drones can be used to, take out armored tanks, and it's not going to be long before we start seeing that also, somewhere in the Middle East, because as we know, the Ukrainians are transferring. They actually signed a defense pact with Saudi Arabia, and definitely they are going to be, transferring what they have learned in this war against Russia. They are going to transfer those technologies also to Saudi Arabia. Probably, who might want to use it against Iran. And as we know, Iran have a lot of these Shahid drones, and we do hope that things are going to be contained. But we are going to wait for the talks that are indirect between both parties, as the Donald Trump administration and the Iranian government, through a third party, that's Pakistan. So we're going to wait to see if this can actually make any sense in stopping the war. But from the look of things, it's not going to be really stopped from my calculations. And listening to someone like Scott Ritter, it's going to be a dead end for the Americans, because this is the first time in history that another country has been able to match them head to head. They are attacking with their aircraft, many of which has been brought down by the Iranian air defense, and they are receiving batters of barrages of missiles from Iran and from Israel and USA. And the Iranians, though they cannot attack the United States directly, but they can attack the facilities, the military installations of the US around the Middle East, which they are doing, and they have these allies also that are taking them out also, more especially in Iraq. And the Iranian government has given their PMF forces to attack any um, airplane or helicopter that comes into their space to attack any facilities in there. So as we are seeing these um, unfolding developments, it is going to be a rough ride even for the Israelis, because you can't be fighting in two fronts at the same time. The 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 Hezbollah fighters are firing missiles into Israel to to reduce their interceptors, while the Iranians are firing a lot of barrages of missiles, against the Israeli military sites and nuclear sites, and energy sites. So it's becoming difficult for the Israelis to contain these bombardments. But as we go on, we're going to see a situation whereby perhaps it is going to be settled, or it is going to escalate the more. Thank you so much, my great listeners. Kindly watch, share, like, and subscribe. Thank you from here.